Previously on Trails of Daybreak 2, I repeated 2 generic activities over and over again in order to get connect points. I then did a connect event, which involved a lot of sports and competition like beach volleyball. Mariel and Zia's event had a fully rendered whale, which Mariel managed to take a good photo of. After the story advanced, several more factions arrived at Nemeth Island, which was ominous because it meant Harwood is somehow prepared to face all of them. Do feel free to make use of the complimentary toiletries provided in each room while taking a bath. I used to work at a luxury hotel, and even I was surprised at how pricey all of the products are. No doubt you'll be satisfied with the selection as well.
Huh. New activities. They didn't have these earlier in the day.
Good evening. Have you had a chance to try the cocktail making workshop at our restaurant? Many of our guests like to enjoy their creations while soaking in the jacuzzi tubs that are provided in each guest room. We also offer massages and other in-room services. Do let us know if you'd like to request one.
What can I get for you? If you need anything else, I'll be right here.
There sure are a lot of colorful characters here, huh? And a fair number of them seem to belong to Society's shadows at that. I think we can count on them to exercise a basic level of decency for now. What truly concerns me is that we have yet to see the owner of this resort. If you're that hung up about it, why not cut your vacation short and get off the island? I definitely considered it. But that would mean leaving Quatre here, plus I'd feel left out heading home this early. We'll just have to see what tomorrow brings. That may be for the best. I'll be laying my fullest cooperation toward keeping everyone safe, so please, rest easy and enjoy your time off. I'll just leave the worrying to you then. I knew we should have brought a larger security retinue. Of course, as far as Their Highness's welfare is concerned, the safest option would have been to avoid this trip entirely. So, never mind. There's no sense wasting time on hindsight. The guild has been trying to gather more information about Almata's legacy. Honestly, I wish that we had a little bit more to go on. And don't stress, our team's very used to rolling with the punches at this point. And we are as well. That said, it's always best to be prepared for the unexpected. Running a Quatre and XEO TAUSEND'S are only a few of the ways this vacation has been going off course. It's a bit more exciting for it though. You take things in so much stride that it's almost comforting. I've been wondering for some time now, but what exactly is the story behind your attire? Oh, no need for alarm. This is merely a special effects costume. Costume? I see. Forgive my wariness. Special effects, you said. How very intriguing. The design incorporates elements from Eastern folklore, but with a modern twist throughout. Moreover, the detailed lettering on the surface evokes the wear and tear of a genuine historical warrior. Impressively done. You have my compliments. To receive praise from the renowned Director Lam is an honor. No way that's all there is to it. I sympathize with your confusion, Director. After all, this island has had a sudden influx of new guests, including those of a, shall we say, seedier persuasion. If that's the angle you're taking, then it's equally strange to see a man and woman up to cloth on a beach vacation. Even Aeos's servants require time to set down their burdens. Do feel free to reach out to me should the need ever arise, Director Lam. I once had the privilege of seeing Director Goetti at work, but I'm also curious about your process as well. No way that's all there is to that either. Thank you for the offer. We'll be in touch if the situation calls for it. On that note, I've been meeting one fascinating individual after another today. For example, if you'll allow me to let my imagination take flight. Before me set free, men burn, the oldest by a tremendous duty, the younger by their weighty past. Being surrounded by so many dramatic inspirations really gets my creative juices flowing. It's scary how on the mark he is. World-famous directors must have an eye for this sort of thing. Never realized you were such a social butterfly. It would prove problematic were the princess to be scouted by the director. This is merely a preventative measure on my part. I see, can't fault you on that one. I've seen a few of Director Lam's films. I didn't really know what kind of person he'd be, but he's a surprisingly sensible person. At least that was my first impression anyway. Turns out he definitely has his idiosyncrasies. Welcome to the world of creatives. Director Lam mentioned that you accompanied him and his crew on a location hunting excursion. I must admit, I'm exceedingly jealous. Would that you were able to share good fortune. Yeesh, if only missing out on schmoozing ops could be the worst of our island getaway woes. This afternoon's location scouting was a massive success, thanks in no small part to your assistance. At this rate, we should be able to keep shooting from tomorrow onward. That right? Well, try to keep yourselves safe out there. This looks fun. You guys doing some stargazing? Oh, hey, Van. I heard the villa had a telescope somewhere in storage, so I asked if I could borrow it for a few hours. The air's crisp and clear, and light pollution is practically non-existent out here compared to Edith or Basil. It all helps to make the stars that much brighter. Even I was amazed. I've never seen such a beautiful night sky before. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourselves. I'm sure it must be pretty breathtaking throughout for the telescope. Mr. Robot here's been teaching us all about constellations too. Yeah, this gray floaty thing is so cool. I've never seen anything like it. Leave all astronomical observations to Theo. Maybe Theo's the real star here. They really have taught me a lot though. Hey Quatre, do you have any other lessons for us? Quatre? You have 1,000 urge there for a bit there. Sorry, I think the day's just finally catching up to me. Oh, I get what you mean. All that exploring we did can really burn you out. Yes, but back to constellations. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. You know, they're actually a rather big fascination of mine. I don't think I could ever get tired of talking about them. Well, I've never seen this many stars in the sky before. You come to this island a lot, right, York? Does that mean you know a lot about constellations too? Yeah, sure. Ask me whatever you want. Oh, crud. Why go and say that? This guy and his robot are the ones with the answers, not me. I used to look up at the stars a lot during our campouts back when I was with the Kruga. But this might be the most beautiful night sky I've ever seen so far, and I don't think I'll ever forget it. This has been a lovely evening so far. Still, I do worry that we're spending a bit too much time fooling around. I just hope that Harwood doesn't try anything, at least not tonight. Stars are more visible here than in Basel. One day Theo would like Professor Hamilton to be able to see this wonderful sight. You should do some stargazing of your own while you're here, Van. This part of the sky is only visible due to how far south the island is, so it really is worth it. Take it from someone with a penchant for astronomy. Yeah, they did spawn in new gems. I did not see these before. What's with this encounter? Oh, shut your trap, you damnable dog, or are you too primitive to even understand human speech? What did I just walk in on? This blessed mud is assaulting me. Though maybe the fall is mine for expecting it to have proper obedience training from a rotten Spriggan. Zeros wouldn't just start barking at you for no reason. Oh, what does it even matter? Just get this stupid thing away from me. Speaking as someone who actually saw what transpired, this woman here had captured that canine drone and was attempting to dismantle it. Oh really? You tried to get the drop on Quatre's little buddy. Sounds to me like this dirtbag dog napper needs a little obedience training herself. Let's not be hasty now. Well, this is gonna start some fanfics. This mutt had higher specs than I anticipated, so it broke right through the trap I prepared. As for you, learn to hold that tongue and mind your own business. Besides, you've been watching ever since I set the trap. Don't act so holier than foul when you didn't do a thing to stop me. I simply didn't feel my intervention was necessary for your little farce to fall apart. Oh, that does it. You've riled me up for the last time, altar boy. Grats and double rats. How did I wind up in this cluster ball? I should have mobilized my men to restrain this mechanical mutt from the start. Wolf is right. Sorry you had to go through that one, buddy, but at least it sounds like you had everything under control. Too bad we have to share this vacation with a person who gives pain in the ass a whole new meaning. I should tell Quatre about this later. Yeah, how are we not arresting her right now? What? It would seem this Zekdarm's woman has yet to learn her lesson. Already attempted kidnapping. I can actually go into an encounter zone, really? No way. No way I can actually fight encounters at night like this by myself with no one to back me up. I can, what? It's fine to visit the ruins or the old church, but be sure you don't cross the fence. The untamed areas beyond it are lured with relics and remnants from Nemeth's bygone days. As a matter of fact, there's an abandoned village where our islanders used to live long ago. I won't go anywhere near it again, though. The place holds far too many memories. Memories that are best left undisturbed. Well, that's ominous. I'd better keep what he just said in mind. Good evening. The crew and I are currently performing maintenance on the Harvatot. Measures must be taken to prevent it from being adversely affected by the salty sea breeze. Shen reeled in a rare deep sea fish this afternoon. The same one I've been hoping to land for a while now, in fact. Honestly, I'm a little miffed about it. Deep sea fish are easier to catch at night, so I'm gonna test that theory on every fishing hole I can. Wait, is that true? Or does nighttime actually change your fishing percentages?
Ooh, This looks like a good fishing spot. Let's do this.
I don't know, everything's I've gotten before, I think. If you have any concerns or requests, don't hesitate to let us know. For example, just now I loaned out a telescope and some blankets. We also have orbital lights and fireworks prepared for those who need them. Well, well, the foremost fighter, huh? Color me intrigued. If it isn't the direwolf and the immovable, talk about a rare opportunity. What do you say to finally nailing down which school is the strongest, the Taito or Gekka? Come on, you're not really planning on fighting them, are you? Don't interfere, little dancer boy. Who are you calling little dancer boy? I'm not exactly a Taito user through and through, but I'll admit, it's an interesting proposition. Will I give him a run for his money, Jin? I never agreed to such a reckless fight, is what I should say. But if you can manage to find a battleground that's far enough away from the villa, I'll consider your offer. You're just gonna give him what he wants. I can't help being curious. After all, wouldn't it be nice to know what makes him the best of the Gekka? I don't really give a shit what school he's from. As far as I'm concerned, we're just fighting for the title of who's strongest. But even though he's the strongest of the Gekka, he doesn't even have an S-craft for some reason. Weird. Well, and let's hope you two are enough to sate my hunger. These guys are clinically insane. Tell me about it. Even though he was working for Sao Long, he didn't lie about his first for battle, huh? By the way, Arkwright, you practice a Kunlun style, right? Not really. You could probably only call me an initiate at best. I've got a bad feeling about this. That means we have someone from each of the 3 major disciplines here. What say you to starting an inter-school battle royale? I say no. Aaron, I know what you're gonna say. Starting shit with Sao at this point won't get me anywhere. I'll give him his just desserts one of these days, but for now it's vacation time. I do find it strange that he seems more forgiving of Gian than of Sao, even though Gian's schemes really did a lot more damage than Sao's, if you ask me. Actually got a lot of Aaron's friends killed, in fact. So yeah, it's strange that Gian got forgiven way more easily, but then again, Gian also faced slightly more consequences, but it was still ultimately a slap on the wrist, I think. I'm passing drinks out to everyone free of charge. Couldn't tell you why, but we suddenly got a lot of extra guests decked out in special uniforms this evening. I've got to act professional, though, so I won't pry, no matter how much I'm dying to. Anyway, enjoy your night. We have enough good liquor and delicious food to go around. Feels as though it's been ages since we last shared drinks over a meal, just the 2 of us. The few times you weren't away on business, we would be eating together with Amiya as a family. But this reminds me of the day you proposed to me during dinner. I certainly don't mind reliving it every once in a while. I was a lot younger then. Thinking up ways to surprise you came easier in those days. But enough of that. Let's raise a toast. We wouldn't want all this lovely food to get cold. And of course not, darling. But wait, what's Amiya off doing again? Stargazing, was it? Yeah, she's made friends with one of the children here. They should be playing on the other side of the villa. I see, this trip is shaping up to be a wonderful experience for her. Pick a fight with me one more time and you're getting shipped off of this island in a bycast. Is that a promise? Hearing that only makes me want to mess with you more. The hell, do I look like I'm joking? Settle down you two. Well, I'd very much like to see how a showdown between you would play out. We wouldn't want to spoil the wonderful dinner we just had. Why don't the 4 of us converse a bit? Chances like these don't come around often after all. Damn, you've really got an all-star table here. Chance encounters such as these could only happen at a luxury resort. I don't really care to get chummy with an Ikaruga bigwig, but you know what they say about missed opportunities. In that case, let me ask you something I've been dying to find out for a while now. Just how powerful is the head of the Gralsritter? You refer to Ein Selnate, yes? She is a person of interest to the Marduk company as well. Oh, is this the same woman the Cornelia series was based on? It's pretty much an open secret at this point. I've been curious about her for a while myself. They say she's as strong as she is beautiful. Yeah, you're better off not lumping the book character in with the commander. Anyone on this continent who can go toe-to-toe with her at her best would have to be in the same league as the Golden Rakshasha. The Golden Rakshasha, that would be the famed former general of the Empire, Aurelia Le Guin. That the 2 of them are on equal playing field says quite a bit on its own. She doesn't come out from behind the curtain much, which screw with her and even you'd get burned. And that's just for a start. You don't say. Well, now we just have to throw down. May have to use Spirit Unification for that one. Maybe I could put in a Force PG event and have him lure her out somehow. I wouldn't be so certain. As if I'd be stupid enough to accept it. What do you think the S in Force PG stands for? Suicide? Well, we're asking questions. I once read a book about these fantastical beings in the East known as yokai. Have you ever come across one, Miss Mitsurugi? Yes, locals would use that word for some of the creatures I've run into. They skedaddled the second I came anywhere close, though, so those yokai are probably nothing special. They probably thought a battle-starved maniac like you was even more of a freak than they were. How very intriguing. I can't keep up with this at all, but it does look like they're having a good time. So where are you all up to? Oh, Van. Hello. Hey, I figured you guys would like to take back a few mementos from your trip, so I've been shooting some photos. I'm developing all the film in my room. She was actually just showing us all the pictures she's taken so far. Oh, got anything good? Well, she did manage to get a shot of Feri stuffing her face, and a few of her smiling as well. Oh, and she was also able to capture one of the most beautiful rainbows I've ever seen. She even caught a few pictures of some of the island's rare birds. All of your pictures are so nice, Marielle. Do you think you'd be willing to make copies for me? Guess you've been hard at work, huh? Sounds like you're getting pretty crafty of that camera, too. Well, it's all part of the job, you know? I'm sure you've heard the old adage, a picture is worth 1,000 words. I can't just be good at writing articles. I gotta make sure I get some good shots in. Well, all the pictures you've taken here have been incredible. Yes, I agree. I'm sure you'll be as skilled as professional photographers in no time. You guys are too nice. Huh. Dorothy level photos? Speaking of photography, have you all seen any movies recently? I remember you saying you really liked my debut film, Agnes. That makes me smile whenever I think about it. Actually, would you like to know a few things that happen behind the scenes? Yes, of course. Oh man, if your fans knew that the Nina family was sharing all our exclusive stories of us, they positively dropped dead from envy. All my recording devices are somewhere else at the moment, so everything you say is 100% off the record. Damn, I'm kind of interested in myself, but I think they're having a girl time right now. Probably best if I leave them to it. I've had so many wonderful conversation partners today, Agnes and Marielle included. It's a shame the weather forced us to change course to Nemeth Island on such a short notice. But we did get a great shoot out of it, not to mention the chance encounter with all of you. Maybe this detour worked out for the best. I had so much fun talking with Nina and Marielle that I almost forgot why we were even here. I have to remember this isn't an idle vacation. We have to figure out why that invitation was sent, and why all these people have been gathered here. Hopefully we can uncover all that in our investigation tomorrow. Well, speaking of photos, I've taken several with you in them, Van. I'll pass them out to you and the rest of your crew once they're developed. Incidentally, I spoke with Mr. Al-Fayed recently. In accordance with both our risk management AI's predictions and Mr. Thorndyke's wishes, he has come with some of his security team's most elite members. Perhaps this isn't my place to say. But although Marduk's goals align with ours, it may be prudent to remain attentive to how the situation develops. Random thought, but we've got the makings of a real dream team here. The three of us together. I'm not sure I see how. The Golden Butterfly can use her screw-the-rules skill to cut through space and warp us into buildings. Then Grimcat can use her style and thief techniques to snatch the objective. That way we can burglarize any place we want, no matter how tight their security is. And where do you fit into this? I'd be the one in charge of holding our plunder up high on the rooftop and cackling hysterically. At least pick something that helps with the heist. Wait, why am I even playing along with this Lucy Goosey trio? But I thought Lucy Goosey was Grimcat's whole deal. Since when? Personally, I find the idea quite amusing. Such a thing could stoke Blue Blanc's competitive spirit enough to spur him into sending a writ of challenge. Blue Blanc? Wait, you mean Femme Thief B? Ooh, now we're talking. This isn't something to be excited about. I'm trying to dig up some intel on the enemy. What, from the Golden Butterfly? Yep, I used every non-violent interrogation technique in the book, but it turns out she's a tough nut to crack. She should just stop wasting my time and tell us what the hole that old man's hiding in already. Yeah, I doubt she'll let the cat out of the bag that easily. Also, you do know she's like 5 reach away from you, right? Oh, I know she can hear me. I'm trying to passive-aggressive route now. Yeah, good luck with that. I sat on these two in case Spark started flying, but the vibe turned out to be way more mellow than I expected. They're actually on a pretty similar wavelength, weirdly enough. You're exactly as amusing as the professor made you out to be. Why, we're practically co-workers once or twice removed. Oh, you just had to go there, didn't you? Excuse me if I don't like the idea of palling around with the right hand of the garden's deadbeat dad. My, such biting words. They certainly have some history between them, but it looks like they might be able to get along. Maybe. Perfect timing, Van. Why don't you join us for a glass or two? Indeed, you'd be more than welcome. A more than welcome addition. It's an honor to be invited and all, Your Highness. But I ain't exactly on drinking buddy terms with the whole table here. Oh no, you needn't be so circumspect over a bit of idle conversation. Speaking of which, it would seem that Alzheimer's Enterprises has been making efforts to expand to the Republic. This will likely lead to competition of Valis-based companies over the same market share. Perhaps you'd be willing to accept our help in this matter. I believe we could be of much use to you. Borrowing the aid of the Kowloon Group is about the most reliable choice we can make. Though I'll have to keep a close eye on what the newly formed Lee family is capable of from here on. Meticulous as always, Your Highness. Incidentally, the Marduk Company's performance this past year was quite a sight to behold. Using AI for crisis management is something our principality seeks to emulate, to say nothing of the high mobility security force you lead. You flatter us. In truth, we are merely adhering to Marduk's system. If you have an interest in our company's affairs, I can arrange for a meeting with our general manager. Still on guard, are we? But yes, I do feel a formal discussion would be worth having. No offense, Prince Sharid, but you couldn't pay me enough to join the mutual interrogation behind these poker faces. It would appear Zeta has been expanding her social circle ever since we arrived. That girl has a promising future ahead. I'm almost sure to think of it. Our host is devising something very bold indeed, gathering such disparate personages to Nemeth Island. In the end, will the Lee family prove a blessing or a curse for Hayway? Only time will tell. Seeing who exactly is gathered on Nemeth only confirms that Marduk made the right call sending us here. You do well to tread carefully, Van. Oh hey, do you guys eat dinner already? All the food was pretty good, but I thought the seafood entrees were best. Yeah, totally. Their flavors are out of this world. You think we could get them to cook all the fish we caught too? Sounds like you guys hit the jackpot today. We sure did. Makino and Kyle's coolers are practically full of bursting. The fish just weren't biting for me though. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Yeah, but you still hooked a pretty big one at the end. I don't even think I've ever seen that species before. Even Kyle got a little jealous. There's a reason he's still out there. Anyway, there's no way I'll let you two get one over on me. You wait. I'll catch myself a real monster one of these days. I probably feel the same in his shoes. Well, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. Kyle's gonna have a long night ahead of him if he wants to outdo me. Here, take these, just in case you want to do some night fishing yourself. Dumplings. Thanks, you guys are always giving us freebies. Kinda makes me feel bad. Oh, it's no big deal. We've gotta take care of our anglers and arms after all. Hanging around a beautiful island, fishing my heart out with friends, eating delicious food. And I get to cap the day off with a fluffy bed to sleep in. Vacations are the best. Kyle may look cool and collected, but he's actually crazy competitive. He's been fishing way longer than we have, so I'm sure he'll try and show off his angling chops. We're offering a cocktail making workshop here as a nighttime activity. This is your chance to create your own original drink. Why not invite somebody to join you? The owner of this villa, indeed Nemeth Island, appears to be a rare magnanimous individual. He's stocked our shelves with high-quality beers, wines, and spirits imported from all across the continent, without regard for price. In any case, the skies are especially beautiful tonight. Please do relax and enjoy the view. Speaking of which, I believe my son is stargazing outside at this very moment. He's bonded with one of the guests, from what I can tell. It warms as far as hard to see. Even the garnishes are made of only the finest ingredients, so do feel free to join us if the mood strikes. Who are my choices? Who do I invite? Our underage members can get their drinks non-alcoholic, so anybody's fair game. Okay, Risette and Quatre because I skipped our events. This workshop requires that participants create an original cocktail using ingredients they've gathered themselves. We have all of the basic components here, but you'll need to provide an extra layer to both the flavor and presentation. Nemeth is flush with vegetation, so harvest any two you like and bring them back here. Wait, what? Do I have to fight anything? Our reconnaissance earlier today revealed a myriad of applicable ingredients throughout the island. I'm a bit lost, however, on what the ideal choices would be. We combine will influence the flavor a great deal. This is supposed to be an original cocktail, so you probably want something that reflects you as a person. What I'm trying to say is, just pick whoever tickles your fancy. Very well, I shall do just that. How's this minigame work? Obtain coconuts.
I believe we can make use of this.
Obtain blue caviar.
I believe we can make use of this.
Okay, return to villa. I'm moving like I got drunk even before making the cocktail. With the help of the chef back at the bar, the pair managed to complete their original cocktails. Damn, that crystal clear color is gorgeous. The summer sky was my inspiration. I call it the cerulean heart. Please, give it a try. Gladly.
Ooh-wee, that's the stuff.
The flavor is sublime, if a little unusual.
It's just as refreshing as it looks. The little bits of blue caviar are a nice touch. That bracing sensation was exactly what I intended. It took quite a bit of trial and error to achieve it. Wouldn't be a Risette original without a splash of elbow grease. Thanks for always going above and beyond. You're very welcome. And so Van and his companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. This workshop requires that participants create an original cocktail using ingredients, okay? Making cocktails is the last thing I expected to get drafted into. Scared you'll make a mess of it? On the contrary, doing scientific experiments has already familiarized me with combining liquids step by step. I even say I have a knack for it. Kind of comparing apples and oranges there. I know, but try to have a little faith in me, at least. Obtain honey.
Maybe this'll work?
Near the volleyball net? What? No, it's at the shore. Sea salt.
So that's where it was.
I call it the electrolyte. As the name implies, it's a non-alcoholic cocktail inspired by energy drinks. I meticulously measured out all the ingredients in order to supply a drinker with salt and sugar at optimal efficiency. Let's see how well it works then.
Oh, it's sweet! Hell yeah! I'll take 20 more!
Ah, that was great.
Honestly, I was a little worried the taste would be a deal breaker. Seems like dodged that bullet though. Yeah, this would make for a perfect way to cap off a long, exhausting day. It's souping from sip to swallow. Almost like you infuse some of your own gentle soul into it. A bit on the corny side, but I won't complain. And so Van and his companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. Let's go Swin. This workshop requires that participants create that. Okay. That's a pretty unique gimmick. My limited set of survival skills might come in handy here. I've scrounged up some ingredients for SPGs before, but it's definitely not something I make a habit of. Just chalk this up as something only an island resort could offer. Stuff that goes into cocktails isn't really my forte, but I do know a lot about edible weeds and fungi. Want me to forage for a while we're out there? Thanks for offering, but I think we're covered. Honey?
Should we try this out?
That's what Quatre used. Honey and caviar? Is that what we're going for again? It's a different combination from the previous two, but use some common ingredients.
Should we try this out?
Oh, it's sweet! Hell yeah! I'll take 20 more!
Oh, I guess Van doesn't have a unique one for every beverage.
That drink tasted better than I thought it would.
I guess he only says that if it contains honey? What do you call again? A getaway driver? Every sip is refreshing without being too sugary. Plus, it's so light I could gulp it down in one go if I tried. That's pretty much what I was going for. If I had to name an inspiration, it'd be the ocean. There's just something about all that crisp, clear blue stretching out into the horizon. It makes me feel as though I have the freedom to go anywhere I put my mind to. I see, that's a nice thought. Things would be a lot easier if it were true. Too bad real life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You can say that again. So at least we can savor a little taste of freedom right here and now. And so Van and his companion just indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. Okay, he did level up after all. Random fact, but do you know that there's a bunch of toxic plants on this island? Why would you bring that up now of all times? I'm also good at slipping poison into people's cups without them noticing. Don't even think about it. Oh, I'm just joshing ya. Wild berries.
So that's where it was.
Crimson Glory Vine.
Oh, let's use this one. Oh, it's both sweet and sour. I like it.
Woo-wee! That's the stuff.
It's cute on the surface and sweet at the first sip, but with a tangy aftertaste waiting to ambush you. It's got me hook, line, sinker. That just means my premium pink key float worked its magic load, right? Yeah, I could see myself growing attached to this, which about sums you in a nutshell. Score, not even Van's immune to my charms. Heh, all it needs now is a few drops of love potion and S will be mine, mine, mine. A few drops of what now? I'm only fooling. My feelings are 100% organic with no artificial flavoring. Alright, you've got my blessing. And so Van's companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. Okay, let's pick Elaine this time. I don't know who's the most optimal to go with here. This workshop requires that participants create an original cocktail, yada yada. It would be best to avoid drinking given my agenda these next few days. But they do say alcohol in moderation can be good for one's health. Very well, I'll come along. 1 glass as a pick-me-up couldn't hurt. Coconut?
So that's where it was.
Mint leaf.
Let's give this a try.
Meet the smellless lady. It's a white lady with a mint flavoring added in. Should figured you'd use your favorite as a base. Oh, what makes you think it's my favorite? It's what you always had whenever the 3 of us went to Bermati's. You ordered one the last time we were at Shino's place too, remember? As good as ever. Call me a sap, but I'll never forget the first time you and me had a drink together. Oh? Well, I hope you'll remember this one just as well. I put a piece of myself into it, after all. Actually put, like, her fingernail in there. Yeah, then what are we waiting for? Bombs up.
Ooh-wee, that's the stuff.
What might an smellless lady represent? I've heard every cocktail has a symbolic meaning. You say something? Not all. Just offering some food for thought. And so Van and his companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. Shizuna. This workshop requires that participants create this. Okay. Pretty neat that they let you collect your own ingredients. Does that mean we can use beast essence and monster hearts? Of course we have to hunt some down first. Nuh-uh, nothing doing. Why not? We Easterners use that stuff pretty often for medicinal drinks. Does this look like a sick room to you? Just do me a favor and pick something normal. Hibiscus.
This one seems okay.
Ember syrup.
So that's
All right,
where it was.
time to let loose.
This is a layered drink I'm calling Snow Moon Flowers. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. The top part's the snow, and the bottom is the moon, and the garnish on top is a single flower. Pretty artsy of you. Hey, a drink like this is just begging for a certain level of refinement. Tossing things in all willy-nilly would be no better than picking a fight at random. Not too convincing coming from someone who brawls first and asks questions later. True, but I choose my opponents carefully. You're always on the list of candidates, though, Van. Don't suppose you can withdraw my nomination for the rest of eternity, ideally. Every battle is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I like to think of each one as something worth treasuring. Just like this cocktail. I think I fell, but you'll never experience this exact same flavor twice. You're gonna have to keep that in mind while it's going down.
Ooh-wee, that's the stuff.
So, this is a special blend you can't get anywhere else. Well, it sure is good.
And so Van and his companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement, sipping their cocktails all the while. Okay, Anya's. This workshop requires that the participants create an original cocktail using ingredients they've gathered themselves. We have all of the basic components here, blah blah blah. Foraging at night sounds kind of thrilling, almost like an adventure. We've already seen most of the islands, though, and the resort will only be so dangerous, even after hours. But if it's an adventure you want, we could always spice up our cocktail with something way out of left field. Let's not and say we did. Teen Hibiscus.
I believe we can make use of this.
Coconuts.
So that's where it was.
That was so good.
Oh, it's sweet! Hell yeah! I'll take 20 more!
I take it you like my flowery fizz, Van. Minus points for the lack of boots, but it goes down easy and the texture is velvety smooth. The floral aroma gives it a nice relaxing vibe too. I'm glad you enjoy it so much. I didn't even get to the presentation. The pink color and red petals really add some cute factor. Takes after you in a way. That's a very kind thing to say. Or Van, is the alcohol starting to get to you? Heh, could be. And so Van and his companion indulged in a short spell of evening refinement. They're sipping their cocktails all the while. Okay. Alright, a Moonlit Lake. The guide recommends not committing to this one. Solus and Leon both trained under Master Beauregard, which makes us all fellow pupils. Look like the two of them were head somewhere though, and they brought their weapons with them. Maybe I should follow along just in case. Upon seeing Solus and Leon heading out, Van decided to follow in their direction. In time, he began to hear the distinct sound of swords clashing. You're wide open. Huh, says who? So they came here for a little spar, huh? That answers that question. Guess we'll just leave them to it then. Oh, seen enough already. Surely you didn't come all this way just to leave without so much as a hello to your fellow pupils. Whoops, didn't mean no disrespect, just trying to stay in my lane. I spotted the two of you leaving and thought something might be up, so I came by to scope things out. As well as gain some insight as to why we're on Nemeth, I take it. I won't deny caution is a virtue, even when it comes to those you once joined hands with. Okay, you saw right through me. Just let me off with a slap on the wrist, and I'll scram. Yeah, then make like a tree and... Wait, actually, hold a thought. Maybe you showed up at just the right time. Huh? So at least I don't like the look in your eye. I'll lighten up for once. How often do we get a chance like this? We were thinking of taking a break after sweating it out a bit. We brought some of the good stuff, so why don't you stick around? The good stuff? A few bottles of booze on a full moon, huh? Classy. To be honest, I was hoping you'd have some holy city sweets to pass around, but I can roll this too. Do you really believe we'd slip out in the dead of night to have some dessert? We could always keep the alcohol to ourselves if you're going to complain. Who's complaining? Though I will say I prefer my booze a little more on the sugary side. Still, nothing beats Eastern liquor when it comes to moon gazing. Hey, you really know what's up. Master Beauregard would take a sip under the moon every once in a while back when he was in Arteria. It was something he used to do with his fellow martial artists, so I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Sharing the same drink the way we share the same master makes for a pretty good setup, am I right? So unexpected company notwithstanding. This chilled long-lay rice wine is one master himself recommended. They happen to have it at the restaurant, so I placed an order. There are only enough snacks for two, though, so do try to imbibe responsibly. Sure, and sorry for crashing the party. I've been meaning to bring this up, but y'all are real attached to Master, huh? Gotta say, it feels a little hero worshipy. You watch your mouth. What's so wrong about showing the man some respect, huh? It's not just us either. Mention the Roaring Lion to anyone that growls her, and... Simmer down, Sullies. His is an ignorance no explanation can cure. Now, why don't we begin while the moon's still in full view? Oh, right. Well, better late than never. To Master Beauregard, may he remain safe and in good health. Cheers. Cheers. In time, the conversation began to pick up as the trio regaled one another with old tales about Beauregard. After a good several drinks, they soon found themselves very inebriated. So me and Leon went to Master and said, "Look, we're begging you to find a hobby outside of work." Next time we meet, he rides in on his new wheels with a big old grin on his face. We're happy to see the guy, but yeesh. I think that was your influence at work, Van. The austere model knight we called Master was decked out in biker gear, and genuinely taken with it at that. It was rather conflicting, suffice it to say. Hey, his fashion sense is his own business. Not that I wasn't prepared to take the blame anyway. What do you expect? The man's our idol, but you're the apple of his eye. He's got a whole lot of other students too, so you'd better abandon down your hatches, pal. Other students, huh? Seems like he has plenty within the church alone. Yeah, there's also Ashlad. Let's see, there's you two, the vice captain. Oh yeah, what about that porcupine head you guys were working with? I didn't realize you and Kevin were acquainted. But no, he had a different instructor. She passed at a young age, but the influence she's had on the lives of him and his partner, Reese, endures to this day. So I think all his younger Dominions see Master as a mentor on some level. He's been around there even longer than Aiden and Thomas, so the number of people he's taken under his wing is more than I can count. But as far as martial arts goes, his most respectable student is probably Wazi's right-hand man. You mean Abbas? I hear he studied the Kunlun style under Master Beauregard directly. Though it seems he's recently had his hands full looking after a number of, shall we say, colorful new comrades. Hey, the fact that he can keep them all in line just shows how much discipline Master had been to him. No offense, but the more I hear about these people, the more off the wall you folks sound. Well, we do come from all walks of life. This may sound odd coming from me, but his youngest pupil is likely the least objectionable of the bunch. Oh, Gaius, for someone so young, he pretty much had his crap together from the get-go. Since Master risked his life for and transferred his stigma to the guy, I think he was keen on training him to the brink, though he didn't get the chance. As a native of the Highlands and an alumnus of Force Academy's special class, Gaius serves as a reminder for us not to fall behind. And he has the most powerful S-craft. And unlike a certain someone, I feel there is much to learn from his sincere and diligent example. Seriously, absolute delay. Who on the dev team thought that would be easy to balance? Would it kill you to stop sneaking jabs at me every other sentence? Damn though, you've got so many stories to dig into that I don't even need any snacks. Yeah, I feel like the mere existence of absolute delay is what inspired the devs to make Abyss mode, because that mode, everything is so ridiculously powerful. You kind of need absolute delay for anything you can't evade tank. Speaking of which, you two have been together a pretty long time now, huh? As a duo, I mean. That's the best word for it after seeing the way you mesh. I just get the impression Stigma users ain't usually so buddy-buddy in the girls were. Really diving deep there, huh? Me and Leon aren't an item if that's what you're thinking. Thank heaven for small miracles. The hell do you mean by that, asshole? Hey, I wasn't trying to imply anything. It's just that the hard stuff making me curious, that's all. I won't press the issue if you'd rather not talk about it. Well, I don't see the benefit in being cagey. You raise a valid points. Rare for Dominions to team up with one another in lieu of a squire. Chalk up to us knowing each other for over a decade. We got Master Beauregard to thank for that. Right around the time I made Dominion, he brought in some pouty little punk from Adios knows where. Then for Adios knows why, he paired us up. I remember us butting heads from minute one. That's because in those days, Celise was the very picture of a rambunctious delinquent. She'd fly into rage and grab me by the collar at the drop of a hat. Every day, I would think to myself, why do I have to get stuck with her? Think? Hell, he said it straight to my face. But yeah, that's more or less how it was for a while. We were the partners who just wouldn't click. No way, no how. But then, well, let's just say shit happened. And after that, things started to change a little. Suddenly, this jagoff who pushed my every button became the one person I trusted to have my back more than anybody. All according to Master Beauregard's designs, no doubt. He knew that our abysmal chemistry would eventually give way to an unparalleled bond of trust. That from the dark brands both of us bore would come the frost and flames we used to support each other. Crap, I can feel my cheeks getting all blushy. So it's your own fault for letting the liquor loose in your lips. A little forethought might do you some good next time. This is why the vice captain always refers to you as a raging bull, you realize. Like you're one to talk, getting all shit-faced and running your mouth. Oh wait, that's how you are sober too. Headmaster really knew what he was doing pairing you up. I finally get how you two lasted so long for a square peg in a round hole. Watch it, wise guy. So I do believe we've overstepped the point of discretion. That said, Van, turnabout is fair play. Don't think you're getting out of this without your own little trip down memory lane. I figured it'd circle back to me eventually. You're right, though. I probably owe you two an explanation about what happened back then. For you and Master Beauregard, you mean? Oh, some of it, we're out of booze. Leon, man, how will we knock these things back so quick? Let's take that as a sign to wrap things up. This conversation has dragged on long enough. We wouldn't want to hold band up any more than we already have. And I guess not. I'll just get out of your hair and make my way back then. It was fun talking with you guys. Guess we won't know that until the next Connect event. Yeah, same here. Van made his farewells to Leon and Solace, feeling pleasantly uplifted by the drinks they had shared. After sobering up a bit in the cool night air, he decided to get back down to business.
I don't intend to make these little meetups a regular occurrence, but I suppose there's no harm in having a chat from time to time.
You're just a big old softy underneath it all, aren't you, Leon? Anyhow, next time we get together to shoot the shit, we'll make you spill your guts.
You can only really gain 1 level? Damn. So that's why the guide recommended not doing this event, because there might be other ways to get them to 100, huh? Better off saving it for someone who is tougher to max out. Okay, Feri's training. Feri's been weirdly broody ever since Kasim arrived. It looks like she's planning on heading into the ruins alone too. Guess I should probably follow along just to be safe. Aaron will be here too. Van decided to go check on Feri, whom he spotted heading toward the island's ruins with a strained look on her face. However, he was surprised to find that someone else had beaten him to the punch. So you're here too, I figured as much. Like hell you did, I was bored so I came by to watch. It's not that deep. Anyway, what's your take on that? The way you carry yourself and your weapon has certainly improved. But in the end, the weight of your blade is as ephemeral as it ever was. Feed the fire within you and stoke it well, lest it eventually burn out. Gah, I can keep going. Just one more rematch. So long as there are still hurdles you've yet to surmount, the outcome won't change. My role here is finished. I'll leave the rest to your boss and colleague. Van, Aaron, were you eavesdropping? Not well enough to slip a certain someone's notice. Can't say we're the best choices to fill in for you, though. Seriously, man. How are you just gonna chuck your own flesh and blood out like yesterday's trash? There is no filling in to be done. The issue lies with Rita herself. As was stated in Longport, I have nothing more to say on the matter, not until you're able to face your inner flame. Kasim. At this point, I think he gets off on the whole vague and mysterious shit. So what now? You want a sparring partner? I'm game. Going against someone as many leagues above you as your brother ain't gonna be much of a crash course. But I could always pass along some of his combat tips from back when he was my instructor. Van, Aaron. If you really don't mind, then yeah, let's do it. Afterward, Van and Aaron spent some time helping Feri with her training. They then decided to take a break once her stamina finally gave out. Well, I've still got another fight in me. You up for it? It's okay, I don't want to put you two out. That's enough training for one evening anyway. Besides, I need to cool off and get some thinking done. About what Kasim told you, guess it'd be tough not to dwell on it. Seemed like he really gave you the cold shoulder back in Longport too. Was there something he said when you returned home last year? Huh, there's no hiding anything from you, huh, Van? Your priestess duties went off without a hitch though, right? I did learn the dances that are passed out in my village and I performed the rituals like I was supposed to. But apparently the point of it all went completely over my head. The dance is supposed to communicate some sort of hidden meaning, but I never figured out what it was. Rita, the true purpose of this ritual is for the Children of Flames to confront the origins of the Kruga. You must grasp its meaning for yourself and spark the fire inside, steeling you for the times to come. Just as our distant kinsmen once did to fulfill the duties demanded of them long ago. If you'll do the same, and you will soon reach your limits. Distant kinsmen, come to think of it, there's that one tribe in the buffer zone between us and the Empire. I did a great performing the dance itself, but I never realized that there was more to it until Kasim said so. What's wrong with me? How could I not even know what the pride of our people is built on? So I wish I had the answers. All I can say is that your bro's got an even bigger stick up his ass than he did last year. Yeah, the Humson's a reasonable guy, but there's clearly more going on beneath the surface here. So everyone's got to figure out their own personal style of facing up to things for themselves. There's a reason your old man's trying to give you the opportunity to broaden your horizons. Yeah, I think I get what Abi and Kasim are going for here. It's just, even if I do come up with my own answer, how am I supposed to know if it's good enough? The more I mull it over, the more confused I get. Oh geez, this isn't like you, small fry. The attitude's just gonna put a damper on your inner flame, or whatever. There's times like these when you gotta let loose and live a little. What you got there? How about that? Great minds think alike. Don't tell me you brought some too. Wow, look how pretty these sparklers are. They even come in different colors. It's just so... wow. Can't remember how many years it's been since I last held one of these. They were giving them away for free at the villa, so I figured they'd be a fun way to kill time. And apparently I wasn't the only one. But quit trying to psychoanalyze me. I just got thinking about how me, my mom, and Ashton used to do this a long time ago. It's not so bad once in a while. Yeah, definitely. Sparklers sure are strange, huh? They burn a lot weaker than, say, a bonfire, but all the colors and shapes they come in are so mesmerizing. I wonder if it's okay for the Kruga's flames to take different forms too. Maybe it's not all about strength. Maybe each person's flame is colored by things they've experienced. If that makes sense to you, then it's all the explanation you need. That's what I always say. You may have a duty to your family, but how you choose to fulfill it is up to you, and no one else. Same applies to your brother. I'll bet he had to take a good long look at himself before he managed to choose his own path. Choose his own path, huh? You're right, Akasim must have gone for this too. Thanks, you two, for everything. Don't sweat, small fry. Well, how's with the googly eyes? You got something to confess? No, it's just nice to see you cheer up a little. Ain't often you're this thoughtful to Feri either. Guessing you've had a lot on your mind lately. Yeah, well, all that BS with Sao and Gaolong really got under my skin. But you know, at some point it hit me. If all I do is sulk behind them, I won't ever be able to pull ahead. So while you figure out how to face yourself, I'm gonna be right at your side, blazing my trail. Aaron. Sounds like a plan to me. I'll do my part to keep your ass afloat, so grind on until you're satisfied with where you end up. Like I need your permission. Oh, I went out. Feel a little bad that we didn't get to share this with the others. Yeah, the way things are going, Aaron might end up just a pawn in Heiwei's grand chess game. Hey, no time like the present. What do you say we call everyone over? We've got more sparklers than we know what to do with. Might as well go another round. Yeah, getting used by both Gian and Sao like that. You're so pretty. That's what I said. Yeah, this is a nice change of pace. Are you seeing this, S? I'm looking. Slow down before you burn somebody. There are plenty more to spare, so please, have it at it. Hell yeah, keep lighting those babies up. Never a dull moment with this bunch. At last, he begins to put his things behind him. I'm expecting much out of you, Aaron Wei. Keep striving, Farida. Don't stop until you've found your answer. Once the group had her fill up the sparklers, everyone helped Feri and Aaron clean up. Despite their reluctance to call it a night, they then head back to the villa together.
I'm sorry for making you worry, but thanks to you, I feel like I'm that much closer to figuring out what my flame should be.
Huh. You know, I think I'm feeling a little better too. Let's all do this again sometime.
I might want to invest some extra time into him later during movies.
What's next?
Okay, actress's invitation. Looks like Judith and Nina had the hotel staff lug something into her room. They were stocking up on booze and snacks too. Just what are those two planning? Maybe I should poke my head in and see what's up. This is what our two starlets are saying. Funny that they'd wind up bunking together. Forget it, I'm telling you, we have to start with something on the lighter side. But spine-tingling horror is the perfect fit for a resort getaway. The heck are they arguing about? Hey, you two good in there? Oh, hello, man. And what do you think you're doing, barging into a lady's room like you own the place? Hey, I knocked, didn't I? Your voices were carrying into the hallway. Don't tell me you two were fighting. Fighting, pff, as if. Me and Nina were just planning to spend the evening binging some flicks. The only issue is we can't seem to agree on what to watch first. So you're putting on a movie marathon, huh? I see you even brought up a widescreen for the occasion. Yes, we found out that the villa offered a checkout service for them. I figured why not? I mean, how often do me and Nina get to room together? Sure, this is a vacation spot, but there's no shame relaxing indoors, right? Doesn't bother me none. All the running around we did earlier probably has you tuckered out. Besides, a pair of top actresses watching movies back-to-back sounds like a pretty swell time. Oh yeah? Why don't you join us then? Ain't this supposed to be more of a girls' night? You wouldn't want some guy spoiling that. We don't mind this least. As a matter of fact, we've been hoping to talk films with you for a long time now. Yeah, you can't put a price on raw feedback from a movie buff. So are you gonna get your butt in here or not? You can help yourself to anything from the bar too. We'll even let you pick out the first movie to kick us off. Well, at least we won't have to worry about the paparazzi in a place like this. Alright, I guess we could sit in for a bit. And so Van found himself settling in for a watchathon with two of the biggest names in cinema. The atmosphere was rather relaxed, with the three of them talking through the movies they'd seen before. This is Doggy Dog Industry. One night with that cretin is nothing if it gets me some work. Oh, I've seen this one before. This is getting us nowhere. I'm so tired of all this. I just want to get away. I'll go back to the old me and... Ooh. Nikkei Marceau is amazing in this. She switches between roles like it's nothing. Was she the one in Gambler Jack? Yeah, her screen presence is incredible. Agreed. It's almost chilling how well she can shift the atmosphere. Maybe I should try emulating that. This is a Doggy Dog Industry. One night with that cretin is nothing if it gets me some work. This is getting us nowhere. I'm so tired of all this. I just want to get away. I'll go back to the old me and... Damn. Bravo, you nailed that. I was beginning to think you were straight up possessed. Oh, stop it. Anyway, back to the movie. Oh, this one! It worked just like you said. I won the Z1 car model from the sweepstakes. You're the best, Mishi. We're just going through every single movie from the first game. So how about getting me those Mihi Arvelous boots now, huh? Then I can become a real human. We can go on walks and dance till the sun goes down. This movie is just adorable, even if it does have some bite to it. No kidding, it takes a real wild turn for something geared towards kids. Yeah, they were pouring out of the fears and tears. Come on, Elaine mentioned seeing this too. She gave it a rave review while we were catching up over drinks last year. Can't take the word of a Mishi, not like her at face value though. Well, you can't just bring her up and expect me not to sink my teeth in. I've been waiting too long to hear the juicy deets on your sweet little high school escapades. I had no idea, now you've got me curious too. Van Orkray and Elaine Leclerc, together. Just what sort of relationship do you have? Alright, quit pecking at me, you starving harpies. Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry. Can you at least look away, sir? I'm really not used to this sort of thing. Oh, you know, this wouldn't be half as awkward if you two weren't staring at a hole into the screen. What's the problem? I'm just taking in what a great actress Judith Lancer is. Yes, the way you portray Zoe's embarrassment is so true to life. Maybe we should rewind and give that scene a closer look. Oh, you're asking for it now, Nina. Let's see how you like... this. Take that, tickle, tickle. Oh, I thought you were going to switch over to one of Nina's films. No, have mercy, Judith. I can't see the movie. Okay, now I'm really starting to feel like a third wheel. Man, you two really know how to pick them. I don't think there was a single dud in the bunch. So what's next on the list? Glad you asked. You're in for a real surprise. We managed to get our hands on digital copies of each of our latest films. Shut up, you serious? Is that even allowed? Of course, both of them had preview screenings these past few days anyway. We're doing a magazine collaboration where the two of us report on each other's performances. That's how we got these files. They even gave us permission to show them to friends as long as they follow the non-disclosure agreement. It's getting late though, so we'll probably only have time for one of them. And as our guest of honor, you get to decide which. And if you violate the NDA, then they send a super strong enemy after you. Actually, an unbeatable boss that spams S-crafts. No pressure, huh? Just pick whichever one speaks to you. You can always catch the other in the theaters. Though if you like a recommendation, I suggest watching Judith in Adventures of Rockford Golden Calamity. It's a swashbuckler set in an ancient ruin. The release was met with critical acclaim, so I've been looking forward to seeing it. I already watched that, though. No way, we should watch Nina in My Casablanca. It's a bittersweet story about young love at a prestigious girls' school. I've been dying to check it out. The former is a blockbuster that hasn't been playing in any of the places I've gone, but the latter ain't even out to the public yet. Damn, I hate to miss out on either one. Wait, I have to choose? I guess I'll pick the... Should I pick the second one? Does this change anything? Like, who gets more points? Huh. You know, I'm gonna pick My Casablanca because I have a feeling it might change dialogue later if I watch My Casablanca in a later event. Maybe. Girl, let's go with My Casablanca. Hi, win. Alright, I'll go start it up then.
I understand that. It's just...
Oh, don't tell me you actually believe that pen pal of yours is your dream soulmate. How juvenile. Flights of romantic fancy are all well and good, but I think it's about time you grew up, Sherry.
Her delivery is something else. God, I've got to start stepping up my game. For all the insecurities Nia used to hide, she's really starting to come out of her shell. It turned out just as I thought it would, for better or worse. I wonder if I've gotten any closer to a genuine oracle. Phooey, I am spent. That was a real fun time though. I've been meaning to check how Nia's performance turned out. Yeah, I got so caught up in it that I almost forgot to brief. I'm not sure what to do with all this praise. But it really is educational for me to sit down and review my work with our people. I wonder if anyone else recorded this and viewed both options. Man, though, I'm still rolling over the perks I get out of knowing you two. Still, part of me does feel like a brand new movie should be enjoyed on the big screen. I don't blame you, there's no substitute for the magic of full cinematic experience. Shoot, now I feel kind of bad for robbing you of that. Hey, don't think twice about it. Not everyone gets insider access to private showings like this. I'm sure I'll pay those silver screens another visit sometime soon anyway. This just gives me an excuse to go see it again. Heh, that's very sweet of you to say. Sigh. Why a long face, Nina? I was just thinking about how lucky I am to be a part of this industry. So many people take joy in our work and form opinions on the performances we give. And getting the opportunity to work with you, Mr. Grody, Mr. Lamb, and so many others has been such a blessing. It almost feels wasted on someone like me. Huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to go on and on about myself like that. No worries, I think it's important to be grateful for what we have. Doubly so for big names like us. It's all too easy to get snooty once you climb to the top. So, Nina, modesty or not, you shouldn't put yourself down with that someone like me talk. Films are built on the talents of huge groups of people working together. No one actor comes up with their performances in a vacuum. Acting skills alone are enough. It takes good scripting, direction, art, sound design, even a good manager. All those things gelling together are what make a movie, and by extension, you, the real deal. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Yes, I suppose I owe you an apology for being unfair. To the production team, the audience, and myself, most of all. Right. Have some confidence, Nina. There's no one else out there who's quite like you. Man and I can vouch for how amazing you are, and so can the people watching you on screen. I appreciate that. Hell, even if you weren't an actress, our opinion probably wouldn't change. I think you'd be surprised at how well the fans would take this genuine offstage version of you. Huh? Come on, come think of it. Maybe the several drinks we had were to blame, but I feel as though I've been a little unprofessional this evening. Join the club. This had the same vibe as me hanging out in my living room back home. I'm pretty used to it with Judith, but this was my first time seeing a more personal side of you. So it's just another part of what makes you Nina Fenley. You've still got a lot to figure out at your age, but as long as you don't lose sight of yourself, things will turn out just fine. Right, I'll take that to heart. Thank you both. Maybe someday I'll learn to have the same self-confidence they have. Well, on the flip side, I'm not sure I've ever seen you get so mentally, Judith. I figured even the folks at the talent agency were rolling their eyes trying to keep your bungling butt out of trouble. My butt is not bungling. Wait, people don't actually do that, do they, Nina? Oh, no, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, why don't we chat away about what we just watched? I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the scenes. Yeah, that sounds fun. I could stand to hit the sauce a little more anyway. Hey, don't dodge the question. Nadia continued giving the undeterred Jiv a hard time as the trio concluded their marathon with a short bit of film discussion.
I very much enjoyed that. Although, I'm a little embarrassed that you saw me acting so different from how I am in public.
Don't sweat it. I've already dropped the facade around this group a long time ago. Wait. That's not what I meant. Hey, what's with that smug grin?
Okay, Van decks up. Okay, more stats up. Okay, Rockford. Girl, give me the Adventures of Rockford. Heh, that solves that. So I have it your way. I'll go start up.
I'll be taking that.
Hand over the staff. Or would you prefer I put a bullet in this poor girl's head?
No! Please! Don't do it, Rita!
Good, my delivery turned out the way I hoped. Now I won't have to worry about the acoustics taking away from the intent. She's practically in a trance. Must be an A-list actress thing. Jiv's performance is brimming with energy to the point where even the audience can feel it. Maybe I just can't compete with the genuine oracle. Okay, I think the dialogue is the same at this point. Maybe. That was a real fun time, though. It was nice to give my technique a once-over. But you may sound like this was a leisure, but you had your game face on the whole time. Sure, your dedication never fails to impress me, Jiv. Oh, you're too kind, but feel free to go on. Okay, I think the dialogue is the same at this point. Maybe. Someone's in this room. 301. Pretty sure this is Walter and TAUSEND'S room. I feel kind of bad that TAUSEND has to share a room with that guy. Wait, I hear voices. And is that someone crying? Why? Why me? My horrible luck finally makes sense. It's all because I've been cursed. That's gotta be TAUSEND. Sounds like he's not in the best mood either. Maybe I should pop in real quick to check on him. Hey there, sorry for barging in. The Spriggan, what are you doing here? Oh, nothing. Just I heard somebody blubbering their eyes out and figured I should look into it. Rooming with Walter is that bad, huh? I wasn't blubbering. Do I look like the blubbering type to you? And while I certainly am not pleased to share a space with that brute, there are far more concerning matters on my plate at the moment. Okay, then lay it on me. What's the problem? There's this reporter named Marielle. You know, the one who was taking pictures for tourists earlier today. Yeah, I know her. It looked like she was giving them away too. Well, a little while ago, I received a few pictures of my own from her. That's when I saw it. A strange white shadow hovering over me. Oh, brother, that's what got you so upset. Hey, this is a big deal, right? Here, see for yourself. Huh, there really is something there. This was taken out in front of the abandoned church, right? Wonder what that haze is. See, I told you there was something strange going on. It must be a ghost, and it's been haunting me this whole time. Well, at least you got a pretty cool picture out of it. How can you be so blazed about this? This is evidence of paranormal activity. Ghosts, caught on camera. Even modern science hasn't been able to provide proof of the afterlife. How are you not absolutely petrified? I don't know what to tell you. If the higher elements are at work here, I wouldn't be so surprised that a place like that was teeming with ghostly-looking monsters. There's lots of stuff that can't be explained with science. Doesn't mean you're being haunted. God, he must take me for a fool. I should have known you wouldn't understand. So first I had to deal with that horrible incident in Basel last year, and then I lost my job, and now I can't even take a proper vacation. I'm positive it's all because of this evil spirit. There's simply no other explanation. As long as it's got its claws in me, my life will be filled with nothing but misfortune. So how will I ever get rid of myself of this horrible affliction? Look, if you're that scared, why don't you try and figure out what that white blob actually is? Sure, it looks like a ghost, but maybe it's just like when people see celebrities in their toast or something. I suppose the unknown is sometimes more scary than the truth. But how do you suggest we investigate the identity of a ghost? The very idea is ridiculous. Actually, I think there might be a few people on this island that know a thing or two about spirits. Plus, I'd hate to leave him like this. If I ignore it all, he might just become even more of a headache. Should I help him get to the bottom of this ghost business? Except Gray. How about this? I'll figure out what's going on with this ghost thing as long as you put in a formal request. Request? Oh, you must mean your 4 SPGs. As luck would have it, I know some people on the island right now who could be considered paranormal specialists. With their help, I'll be able to figure out the truth behind your little ghost problem. And hey, if it really is a ghost, all we have to do is exorcise it. I figured that'd be a lot more constructive than just sitting here freaking out about it anyway. As much as your skepticism irks me to no end, you do make a good point. Fine, I formally request your services. Although I'm not sure how far I trust these specialists of yours. Guess it's a deal. In that case, mind if I borrow that picture? Gladly. In fact, I'd rather you have it anyway. Alright, Len. I'll get back to you after I talk to Marielle and the others. Actually, I might even have them come by to give you a once-over too. Just wait here for now. Of course, but make sure you're quick about it. Well, I guess I should go find Marielle then. Might be a good idea to talk to someone familiar with the island too. Maybe the villa manager. Could also ask the girls over for help. Although I don't think Celeste was ever all that good at the whole clairvoyance thing. She should probably just stick to hitting up her partner. Then there's Shizuna. I think she mentioned something about having spiritual powers back when Mare possessed Yume. Might be useful. I'm sure at least one of them is capable of clearing up this mess.
Okay, time to get to work.
Photo of a phantom.
Let me ask you something.
Sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but can I get your take on something? Why, certainly. It is a clergyman's duty to lend an ear to those who seek one, no matter how disreputable they may be. Could have gone without that last bit, but thanks. Van took out the picture he borrowed from TAUSEND'S and began to explain the situation. So you wish to know what this ghost really is? I'm not sensing anything odd from the picture itself, but knowing it was taken on this island does make me wonder. Oh, that's a bit more ominous than I was expecting. I think I should meet with TAUSEND'S. I'll explain it in more detail there. Oh, are you a priest of the Septian Church? That's correct. My name is Leon. I'm what some call a wandering priest. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. The picture Van shared with me didn't give much to go on, but I thought it'd better to meet with you directly. So, do you think there's something going on with him? Gulp. Worry not, friend. I don't sense any spirits on your person. Really? That's certainly a relief to hear from a priest. However, it would be prudent to keep your wits about you. This whole island has been stained by some sort of stagnant energy. What? What do you mean it's stained? Just as it sounds, I felt a very particular sensation ever since we set foot here. It's as if a dark cloud is looming over the entire island. I won't know more until I've had a chance to conduct a more thorough investigation, however. Something to do with Harwood? At any rate, it's not uncommon for spirits to congregate in places with an excess of energy. Even if you aren't being actively hunted at the moment, it's still possible that something has its eye on you. I suggest you stay indoors after nightfall. I would also be mindful not to get into any mishaps during the day either. I see, so much for being relieved. Well, this was definitely a strange turn of events. Thanks for the help, Leon. Not at all, I'm glad to be of assistance. If you have no further need of me, I'll go ahead and take my leave. Farewell. Guess I better keep working my way down the list.
Got a question for you.
Man took out the picture he borrowed from TAUSEND'S and began to explain the situation. I see, that certainly does look a bit spooky. With you being the manager and all, I thought maybe you might have some idea of what it could be. Anything come to mind? Well, to be frank, I don't think I've ever heard talk of ghosts around here. That's not to say we haven't had a few slightly odd disturbances, of course. Mind telling me about them? Certainly. One of our guests was taking a walk one night when they said they saw an enormous, terrifying shadow. People were concerned about the possibility of it being a monster, but after conducting an investigation the following morning, we came to the conclusion that it was likely only a wild animal. Because of the street lamps were stretching its shadow, it seemed much larger than it actually was. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Knowing there haven't been any ghost sightings in the past is helpful on its own, though. I'm sorry I couldn't provide you with any more information. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to assist you. Sure thing, thanks. Guess I better keep working my way down the list.
Let me ask you something.
Van took out a picture he borrowed from TAUSEND'S and began to explain the situation. I didn't realize I caught ghosts in one of my pictures. It's all my fault that Mr. TAUSEND'S saw an edge about it. If only I had checked them beforehand. I should go and apologize. It's not your fault. I'm pretty sure that guy's just paranoid about anything and everything. Anyway, do you usually see stuff like this in your photos? I wouldn't say it's common, but I've definitely taken some that were pretty similar. My coworkers at the Tidal Times have said I'm the only one who had this issue. Maybe she just has a knack for capturing ghosts on film. Do you notice anything strange around the time that you took the picture? No, I don't think so. I think it was sometime around dusk. I was just getting ready to turn in for a day, and that's when I spotted Mr. Tausen. He was trying to get inside the abandoned church, but it seemed like he'd given up. I figured I would take a picture so that he could have a nice keepsake. What? But the church isn't locked, is it? Oh, I almost forgot. That's the only picture I took with the flash on. Although that's about the only thing out of the ordinary that I can recall. The flash, that might have something to do with the haze then. Thanks for the info, Marielle. Of course, happy to help. Guess I better keep working my way down the list.
Got a question for you.
Sorry to cut into your fun, but can I ask you a work-related question? Sure, go for it. Man took out the picture he borrowed from Tausen and began to explain the situation. I see. Chasing down a ghost, huh? Sounds like a pretty fun job. Kind of fitting for this island, don't you think? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, it's nothing to worry about, at least for the time being anyway. Look, if you're not gonna tell me, you could at least stop being so foreboding. Anyway, to answer your question about my abilities, yeah, I can detect evil spirits, can even exorcise them too. But based on this picture, I don't really think that's what you'll need from me. That's not to say Tausen isn't being haunted, though. Well, will you mind stopping by to take a look at him? I get a feeling he wants a diagnosis straight from the horse's mouth. Sure, I don't mind. Why don't we head over now? Hey Tausen, brought somebody to see you. I'm sorry, but who are you, miss? She's someone important from the east. Got a talent for seeing spirits too. My name's Shizuna. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ex-CEO. Yes, likewise. I don't believe I quite understand, but whatever insight you can offer would be most appreciated. Was there anything you noticed about the picture? I didn't get the sense that there's something ghoulish going on, if that's what you mean. But I figured I could at least check you out, just in case. Gulp? Yeah, just as I thought. You're no host to a ghost. You do seem to be giving off some pretty negative vibes, though. Negative vibes? I guess it might make more sense to say he's irritated or annoyed. Here, let me put it like this. Strong negative vibes attract bad things. Usually it's just general misfortune, but other times it's evil spirits. Anyway, I don't know your situation, but I recommend trying not to worry too much. Do something to get out of the slump you're in. Wow, I wasn't expecting you to give the guy life advice. The reason I came here in the first place was to refresh myself. I've just had so much bad luck lately. Well, nevertheless, I appreciate your suggestion. However, none of that explains anything about the white haze in that picture of mine. Do you know what it could be? Well, at the very least, I don't think it was a ghost or a human. What's that supposed to mean? I may know a thing or two about spirits, but I'm not a medium, you know? Guess it's just something you'll have to rack your brains about. Alright, Len, thanks again for your help. Yeah, thanks for your time. Alright, I think that's just about everybody. Heard a lot of different opinions, but nothing really substantial. Maybe I'll have better luck investigating around where the picture was taken. And so Van made his way to the abandoned church. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, it's you. I was just trying to familiarize myself with the terrain. But I noticed an unusual aura coming from that abandoned church. What do you mean? I mean, I'm definitely catching a whiff of something, but I can't quite place what it is. If I'd say it's because you lack the proper training. Anyway, I'm assuming you have business over there. You could say that. Somebody asked me to take a look around for them. Van showed Kasim the picture of Tausen and told him about the fears regarding the apparition. I see. It would seem that Verne's former CEO still has a number of unresolved anxieties. That being said, I'm surprised a Spriggan would even take on a job like this. What, got a problem with that? The only reason I took the guy on was because I didn't want him getting any more carried away than he already is. Anyway, what do you think about the picture? Anything stand out to you? Not particularly. I thought the white blur was odd, but nothing more than that. I see. Guess I'll just have to keep digging. Well, shall we get going? We are going the same way, after all. You're not exactly my ideal partner, but after you, I suppose. So this is it, huh? It sure is a lot more creepy at night. It's very odd for the Septian Church to leave behind ruins like this. You usually only find them near abandoned villages, evacuated due to ongoing conflicts in the area. Yeah, it's strange that this building is so unused. Now you mention it, I guess it is pretty strange. Anyway, I've got some investigating to do, so this is where we go our separate ways. You'll find no argument from me, however. I would like to know how you end up resolving the issue. Are you thinking it might be related to that weird feeling you mentioned earlier? Yes, and I prefer to have as much evidence as possible before drawing any conclusions. Well, if I find anything on my end, I'll be sure to fill you in. I appreciate it. We'll speak later. Good luck. Alright, I still have no clue what made that white haze. Guess I'll try using shard search to see what I can find. If I can pick a betrayal somewhere, it might just lead me the answer. Maybe something inside could offer a hint or two.
Something's there. Do a shard search.
The tracks seem to end here. Their pattern makes me think that it's got some level of intelligence, though. There's no way it's human. It's gotta be a monster. The only question is, what kind, and does it actually have anything to do with all this ghost business? Plus, the footprints are incredibly round. I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. There's much to be concerned about, but our investigation will be ending shortly regardless. Come and speak with me once your own is complete. A beat-up orbital layer lights this car on the ground. What's an orbital layer doing here? Looks like it's been through hell and back. Still got some life left in it, though. I doubt somebody from the villa would lure like this. It must have belonged to a tourist. I'm guessing they came out here at night to see how long they could hold out in the test of courage. They probably got so scared they dropped their layer and ran for it. Aha! What's this, a medallion? Looks like it's got an engraving of Adios on it. Seems pretty old. The goddess in the sky. It's all cracked too, almost like somebody smashed it underfoot. Makes sense for something like this to be left behind in an abandoned church, but something about it feels off. I guess that covers everything I wanted to look at. I don't think there's anything else worth examining here. I'd better go report back to Kasim. Already done with your investigation. That was faster than I expected. Well, it's not like it's a big church. Anyway, figure out what that weird aura was all about? No, seems it was just a bit too late. It appears to be unrelated to your photograph issue, however. You don't say. Excuse me. Marielle, what are you doing here? What do you think I'm doing? I'm here to investigate the photo I took, of course. I felt kind of guilty, so I thought I might as well lend you a hand to make up for it. I figured you would want to take a look in the church, so I decided to come out here myself. Lucky guess. I didn't know you'd be working with someone from Marduk, though. Hope I'm not intruding. Not at all. Actually, you might just be right on time. It would seem Vance determined the true identity of your ghost. Already? Well, it's pretty easy to piece together once you look at the evidence. First, there were the small round tracks I found. Then there was the abandoned layer and the cracked medallion. But out of those three, the one that points to the identity of the white haze is... First option, small round tracks. Small round tracks I found using shard search. Those are a key. And what's the point of the other two? Round tracks, what do you mean? From them, we can infer that we're dealing with a monster that doesn't have legs, but if it could fly, there'd be no tracks at all, so it hops. Put that together with small and round, and there's only one thing it could be. A palm. I don't think we've ever... Have we even fought a palm before? A palm. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with monsters. I'm drawing a blank. They aren't very common in Calvert, are they? Palms inhabit every region of Zemuria, so it's a little surprised they'd be here as well. They're incredibly adept at blending into their surroundings. However, they're also quite skittish. Personally, I haven't seen many around lately, but I've heard there's been recent sightings of a special shining type that glows. A shining palm? They come in a whole variety of colors, but the white one is the most common. Maybe I've never seen one because they're so good at hiding. I guess the only question left is how the white haze or a palm ended up in my shot. Yeah, that's the important part. You said you had flash on when you were taking the picture of Towson, right? My guess is that our little friend was hiding outside the church, but was startled when the light went off. We must have left behind Towson at just the right moment. Oh, you're right. That would explain everything. I'm not so sure Mr. Towson will accept it unless we show him some kind of photographic evidence, though. You think we can get it to pop out again if I take another picture of the flash on? I'm not so sure. Honestly, I feel like I probably spooked it just by entering the chapel. But given the tracks that Van found, I assume it's still somewhere around here. You think maybe it's too scared to come out? Guess I'll just have to find some other way to convince Mr. Towson. Actually, I think I can lure it out. We've come this far, right? Might as well get some solid proof. This should be interesting. Huh? Raw! Eep! What? It has its own stealth mode? It really worked. I better grab some photos. Somehow punching the air really hard made it appear? Oh no! It stole your camera! Ah! How nimble. Should we give chase? Well, we can't just let him go. It'd be dangerous to let a monster roam about on the main road. 1 SP. Did it steal our camera or not? I guess it didn't. Weird. I guess it doesn't have hands after all. Looks like we got the little guy cornered. But he seems to have called for reinforcements. They're closing in on us. What? What are those things? Just stay calm and keep close. Allow me to lend a hand.
Activating shards!
Breathe your last.
This one's yours, Homsi!
Now! Be gone!
What was that small AoE?
Chance!
Use a shard boost to get the upper hand.
La Forte.
Initiating drive.
There!
This guy's EP?
You'll pay for that.
Use a shard boost to get the upper hand.
Okay.
I will watch your
He is roar.
Here goes.
Use a shard boost.
Heavenly halter.
I will Don't stop now, Van. Stay put.
This one's yours, Homsine!
Got you covered. Ready.
That's gonna result in a lot of hits.
I'll end you.
I only hit one enemy? Seriously. I wish this guy had a better sense for his AoEs.
Activating skill.
Time for the main event. Vandalize!
Yeah, that way I can take advantage of the damage bonus.
Boost gauge limiter unlocked.
What? Oh, a buff? Damn it. Really?
It's go time. Got you covered.
Oh, man.
Strike! Oh, luminous flame, burn from within!
Finally gotta see a self buff.
Chance!
Okay.
Attack their weakness with an art.
I will watch your six.
Don't
stop now, Van! Stay put!
This one's yours, Homsine!
Got you covered. All set. Come on! Strike!
If only I had an S-craft and I could control him, but no. Oh well. All clear. Whew, that palm was hell of a lot tougher than he looked. Nice job, you two. I was able to get some great pictures during all the commotion. I hope wait, did the palm break your camera? The palm was so fast, some of the shots came out a little blurry too. I'm sure Mr. Towson will be convinced once he gets a look at these. Nice work, kid. Guess I'll be able to wrap up this job after all. What about you? Got anything else to take care of? Actually, I think I'll be retiring for the evening. I still have some lingering concerns, but it would be best to review the whole situation before taking action. I see. Review the situation, huh? Guess I should probably do that myself. Especially with all the weird stuff we've run into lately. Well, if you're ready, what do you say we head back to the villa? And so the three made their way back towards the villa, with Kasim saying farewell partway along the route. Upon their arrival, Van Mariel decided to pay a visit to Tausen's room. So you're right. This monster is about the same shape as that blur in our photograph. Right, so you weren't actually being haunted. The palm just happened to pop up in the middle of the shot. So that's all there was to it, eh? I'm ashamed at how much I let this whole thing ruffle my feathers. I'm sorry, Mr. Tausen, it's all my fault. But I just checked the photos more carefully before I handed them over. None of this would have happened. If anyone deserves blame, it's that monster for getting in the way. This was no fault of your own. Well, I appreciate you for saying so. Still, if we take into account what Miss Shizuna and the priest had to say, it sounds rather likely that we could encounter some spiritual phenomena in the future. Best to be prepared at any rate. Perhaps I'll go see if they happen to know of any good precautions to take. Good point. From what they said, there's definitely something strange about this island, spiritual or otherwise. The situation's so complicated already, though. This just makes it worse. Man, are you alright? Yeah, it's nothing, really. Anyway, if you get into a pinch at night, you could always ask your roomie for help. I bet he'd be real happy to have something to beat the shit out of. The only problem is the room might not be intact afterwards. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be comforting or terrifying. But I suppose I'll just have to consider it. Whew, I almost blew our cover. It's wild that he could tell we were around, even if he is a Hamzen. Worked out okay though. The way things are going, tomorrow ought to be pretty entertaining. Yeah, maybe. Not that I'm in a hurry to take on any extra work though. Wait, were these two behind the palm as well? Anyway, they're way more suspicious of the church now, so I'll switch it to a backup location for now. Roger that. Oh man, I'd sure like to go mess around with him a bit, but I guess we'll have to save that for later. Look forward to tomorrow, everybody. We're gonna have one hell of a time.
That takes care of that.
Reward deposited!
Gray. It's just my luck I'd run to the Crown Prince. Wasn't losing my seat as CEO bad enough? I couldn't have picked the worst time to come down here. All I wanted was to clear my head. Thanks for tuning in to this Let's Play of Trails through Daybreak 2. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit that bell icon.